Here's the situation. One pilot is dead, but right now he's our best chance at landing this plane.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Spoonie, and as you can see, I've had a little bit of a mishap with my plane. That's because I only watched the first half of Surviving Disaster, Hijack. In the first part of this video, series host Cade Courtley showed us how to work as a team and improvise weapons. We had to take down 3 armed hijackers who have already eliminated 2 passengers, and the 4th one is in the cockpit and we need to get him out.
Your plane is being flown by a hijacker. NORAD has scrambled F-16s and they are in visual range. If you don't regain control of the plane, you could be shot down.
So as you can see, the stakes have literally never been higher. We've got to get inside that cockpit and stop that crazy bastard before he crashes his plane into something. Cade, tell us what the plan is.
All right, here's how this is gonna go down. Hit that door right in the middle as hard as you possibly can. As soon as you bust that door down, I'm gonna go into the left, going right at the hijacker. You're gonna hop in that empty seat.
No fucking way.
Okay, let's go. Come on.
You think you're so fucking good? Come on!
Pilots are incapacitated, status unknown.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can tell this guy's status without having to check. Anyways, we've retaken the cockpit. This was actually the hardest part. Now all we gotta do is land the plane without crashing or getting shot down by F-16s. Simple, right?
We got in the cockpit and we're flying this plane. Get a hold of somebody and let them know we are controlling this flight. F-16s with clearance to shoot us down.
Military force against a civilian aircraft is significant. It's my belief that it is a hijacked aircraft. It is pointing at a target that has high value. That the only good alternative here is to shoot it. I then order the fighters to launch their weapons on this aircraft.
Immediately make radio contact to call off the fighters.
Yeah, good call.
The control console for communications is right in the middle. There's an emergency frequency that everybody listens to.
So what about my fate?
Your fate? I'm sorry, I have no idea.
Of course not.
Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake!
Call somebody and let them know who you are, what our flight is, and what the status is. Keep it simple and go.
Emergency frequency 121.5. Every airline pilot, while they're flying, monitors. This will be your lifeline. This will be your 911.
So all jokes aside, this is actually good information to have for, all those times where you find yourself having to commandeer a plane in the event of a hijacking situation.
NORAD's first priority, make sure we're not one of the terrorists.
Hold up the yoke in front of you. Give it a slow turn to the left.
They know if hijackers were still in control, they'd keep this plane aimed right at their target.
You want to see compliance. The mission can change from a shoot down to an escort mission.
NORAD has determined that we are no longer a threat. This is now an escort mission. The first thing we need to do is engage the autopilot. Autopilot is just like a cruise control in your car.
Not every autopilot can land an aircraft.
Our autopilot can't land this plane. Check the condition of the pilots ASAP. They are the only people here who are trained to land this aircraft. Check these guys out. Look for a pulse or breathing. Our co-pilot is still alive. He can land this plane.
Yeah, I doubt that.
With no doctor on board, it's up to you to save the co-pilot. He's your best hope for landing this plane. A bubbling wound and that sound in the area of the lungs is one thing. It's a sucking chest wound.
Sucking chest wounds are caused by penetrating the chest cavity, a bullet wound, a knife. And basically what ends up happening is your lung ends up collapsing due to the air buildup in your chest cavity on top of your lung.
We need to do an occlusive dressing. It's a one-way valve that's going to keep that air from going back into the chest cavity. I need a piece of plastic, either plastic wrap, something that came off of cigarettes, you name it.
To treat a sucking chest wound, you're looking for anything that you can cover this wound with. You want to tape it up on all 3 sides and just have one side open, so that way it's acting as a flutter valve. The flutter valve, or the saran wrap they have over the wound, will let air escape, but it won't let air back in, which would collapse the lung. You're just looking to stabilize the patient so you can get them back to proper medical care.
Looks like we're going to have to land this thing on our own. Air traffic control will have to take us through the landing sequence on the radio.
My mom says you have to.
We're gonna need to prep for emergency landing, over. Okay, right now they're contacting a pilot, somebody who flies this thing for a living, and he's gonna give us step-by-step instructions.
After establishing the communication with a novice pilot, we will make every attempt to give this individual a detailed instruction on how to get that aircraft down safely.
To become an airline pilot, it takes years of experience. You go through extensive training. What you're going to have to do is focus. Listen to everything that you're being told.
The next thing we need to do is input an actual route, something that's gonna take us right down to the runway where we plan on landing.
The flight management computer is the computer that runs the aircraft.
The FMC will even get you within 80 feet. You may have to switch it off and land the plane manually. I'll be right back. I'm going to prep the folks in the cabin in case there's a crash. With a rookie at the controls, our chances of a crash or hard landing are high, with vital to get everyone ready for the worst.
Hey, screw you, man. This guy didn't even want to do it. You kept pushing him into it.
As soon as we come to a stop, you need these guys to get those doors open and start funneling people off the plane. Okay, here's the thing with fuel. It's very heavy and it's in the wings. And we want those wings as light as possible so they don't flex down onto the runway.
Hitting the runway hard on an aircraft, it's a bad situation.
You're going to have to burn off as much fuel as possible, risk snapping the wings off on the runway and bursting into flames. The drag of the wheels is causing us to burn off fuel. Every pound of fuel we burn off will increase our chances of a softer landing. A few U.S. airports have a feature called auto land. Basically, take a jet like this all the way down and to a stop on the landing. The airport we're heading to does not have that feature. We have to take control of this thing and do it manually. We are now totally in control of this aircraft. Critical preparations are being made on the ground for a 300,000-pound aircraft to make an emergency landing.
God, what an asshole. He keeps telling this guy, you can do it, man, you can land this plane. Meanwhile, he runs to the back and tells the passengers, and then calls the ground crew and lets everybody know, look, this guy's gonna fuck up, get ready.
If you are manually landing this aircraft, the expert at the other end of that radio is going to be talking to you about a flare. A flare is that last-minute pull-up on the nose of the aircraft to ensure that you don't land nose first, that the main gear takes the weight of the landing. If you land nose first, could lose control of the aircraft.
Imagine you're driving a car.
I imagine this is how it would look if I tried to drive.
Let's go. Let's go. A hijacking is one of the most terrifying ordeals you could face. But the reality is, there will be more. You did what you had to do to stay alive. You chose to survive.
And you guys chose to watch this video to the end. So thanks for that. Anyways, I doubt, like me, you guys learned anything that's actually, like, practical about this. It was just a good laugh. I will be working on the very next episode, which is Lost at Sea. And there's a bunch of other episodes. So if you're interested, you can let me know which one you'd want to see after that. And I definitely would appreciate some feedback on this video, just because, like, if you've seen my stuff before, I'm trying some new stuff in terms of editing and things like that. And it would just be cool to see how people are digging it. Anyways, stay tuned for the Lost at Sea one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.